All right, and we're live. Andy Frasco's World Series Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. How's your heads? How's your minds? Sorry, guys. I've been fucking super busy, just nonstop with it all. But we are doing a new segment, and I'm really proud about this one. Nick and I have been going to assisted living homes. Shout out to Kavod Assisted Living. And we've been interviewing some of the residents in these assisted living who are the ages of like 65 to 90 years old, and talking to them about time and talking to them about memories and talking to them about just life and seeing how we can get some advice from these people who've experienced the full life. And we're calling it Respect Your Elders. So I think you're going to really love this. We're going to try to put out a couple of these. I mean, we're going to try to put them out once a week. We did a bunch of them, but for the first one, we're going to do two guests on this. And yeah, it's not a celebrity. It's not a random artist, musician, comedian, actor. It's just people who've just lived life. And I think we could learn a lot from the people who've made it this far. And we shouldn't forget about them because they built the path to us being able to live as well. So I hope you like this new side quest on the podcast called Respect Your Elders. Enjoy the first episode. Hi, I'm Andy.
Hi, I'm Vivian.
Vivian, how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
84.
You look beautiful.
84 years young.
84 years young. You have a twin?
I have a twin.
Does she live here or he live here?
No, she is actually completely on the other end of this country. She's a New Yorker, a diehard New Yorker, but she lives in
That's her right now.
in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What do you see in her as a twin? Do you guys see a lot of similarities or see a lot of differences?
When I want to know about my family history, or things that corroborate things that we may have done when we were young that I have memories of or something, and I'm not sure, then I go to her definitely.
She remembers everything.
But she is the solid one.
Oh.
She is the solid, the serious one, and I'm the adventurous one.
If you're the adventurous one, what is your favorite memory?
Memories. When we went to camp together, summer camp, send those poor children from New York to camp. That was us.
Oh, nice.
And
what, up in the Catskills?
Well, there were different places. There were summer camps, I remember.
Yeah.
And they always wanted us, we said, we want to be separated. We always want to be separated. Yeah. But unfortunately, when we get there, we'd say immediately, we don't want to be separated. We want to be in the same bunk.
Yeah.
And that was a continuous thing throughout the many years we went to summer camp, and it used to drive the counselors crazy. So, but
you
anyway.
couldn't get both of you in trouble, right?
Pardon?
They couldn't get both of you in trouble. Yeah.
They could.
They could. They could.
They could. But she ended up being a midwife.
Oh, wow.
A midwife. Of course, she's retired now. Right. And she's also a mohelet, which is a Hebrew word for the moil, the person that does the circumcisions.
Right.
So she's a female mohelet.
Wow.
Is that rare?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely not in the Orthodox.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're definitely not Orthodox.
Yeah.
So, and I became a nurse because I wanted to be a doctor but couldn't afford it, so I became a nurse.
Uh-huh.
And one day I visited her at Presbyterian Hospital in New York for lunch, and I got on the elevator, and this very, very tall, I still remember he was hugely tall, must have been 6'8" or something like that. And he grabbed my hand and he started shaking it violently, and he said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I said, "You're welcome." There's nothing else I could say. And he, and we got off the elevator, and I said, "Ann, who was that man?" He said, she told me that she had just delivered his wife.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
What have you learned about life from being a nurse?
I'm sorry?
What have you learned about life from being a nurse? Like the life lessons you learned from that?
Well, there's three parts of my life. This first part, my life I have three lives.
Yeah, tell me.
My first life, growing up and becoming a nurse and that whole working life and having children and so on. And the second part of my life, I was so ill that I almost died, and my children thought they were going to become orphans,
Whoa.
and they
Wow.
didn't. See that? I
Yeah.
told them they didn't become orphans.
What happened?
I got a brain disorder and collapsed out of nowhere. And, fortunately, my sister was in a hospital in New York, got me to New York. I was unconscious.
Oh,
and
my God.
this doctor saved my life. And so, this is just a leftover nonsense. And the third part of my life, which I think is the most interesting, I like this part of my life. And the third part is, doing the things that I learned from the first part and want to be in this last part.
Yeah.
And so this part's about wanting to contribute to the world because I've lost a lot of time, and stuff like that. And I thought around the time that I moved west, I thought, I'm physically have, problems and I, can't do a whole lot, but I could still write. So
Awesome.
I started to write.
What did you write about?
Well, I thought that it would be easy to write. You could just sit and
Yeah.
write. Okay.
Yeah.
But to do the things that I wanted to do, I had to go to the places where those things were happening. So one of the first things I ever wrote about was Katrina. I was in San Antonio, and they were bringing some people over from the stadium in
Oh, yeah.
New Orleans.
Supernova.
Yeah, the Superdome, yeah.
into a big base. It's it was not a very well used older army base
Yeah.
in
Right.
San Antonio, and I heard it on the radio. So I made a button. I made a cardboard button that said "World Journalist."
Oh, my God.
It's like you guys are kind of cut from the same.
God, yeah.
cut from
I'm
the
like,
same-
I pretend like I'm such a journalist, but I'm just a musician.
Okay.
I
So-
can see you sneaking into place.
I knew my son that was in the military. He's out now,
Yeah.
but I knew I'd have to get in the gate. So
Yeah.
I got in the gate, and then I came in and I talked to the people that were there, and it was part of what I wanted to do was to talk about people. I want to tell your story about people who were struggling to, make life better, make the world better, and fighting, not giving up,
What advice would you give them?
Hmm?
What advice would you give
I
them?
don't give them any advice.
That's great.
I don't give them any advice. They could probably give me advice. No, seriously, there was a woman, I was a bit younger, 20 years younger, woman there, and what I would consider elderly at the time, who had been rescued off the roof of a hospital and had abdominal surgery.
Oh,
And I
my
saw that the front of her dress was wet. So I told her that I was a nurse, but I wasn't official. I have to get there were Red Cross nurses there, and that that we could go into a private place and we could check her dressing.
Yeah.
And she had this enormous wound, which was about a week old, very much in danger of infection, and it was just held together by Band-Aids.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So, but her life was spared. Her
Yeah,
life
yeah.
was saved. And she wasn't sorry about that. She was alive.
Yeah.
And there were people from her community there, from people that had been in the stadium. And they actually, younger people, younger than me, younger than this woman, who were actually helping, and organizing with people to get them, where they needed to go. And mostly people were just very stunned at that point. So they just I told them who I was and that I wanted to write about them. And there weren't very many articles written at that time.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people I knew from New York that had gone out on some boats and interviewed some people. But it was just before they had started writing a lot of...
You're popular.
had started writing a lot of articles, taking pictures of what was happening. So that was like the first really thing. And subsequently, I've written about the environment. Always wanted to write an environmental article that told people like who knew nothing and wanted to know something.
Right.
The basics. And
Yeah.
so it was the article that I always dreamed of writing. I wrote the whole thing. And then I called the people that we was going to send it into, and I said, it's too long. It's way too long. It's all the basic information. But she said, just send it. And they printed it in 3 parts.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Isn't that, I'm just so, so thrilled. But I also talk about, the effect on workers, because that's a very important part of what I write about.
Yeah.
Effect on workers when it's a very dangerous job,
Yeah.
so I gave some OSHA figures and other things that, ended the article with some kind of understanding of what it means to do that kind of work.
Why do you think we forget about our mental health and we just worry about our physical health? Do you think we forget about our brain and how we see trauma and how we feel trauma?
I'm not sure I understand.
So I'm talking about we take physicals. We back in the day, like no one was really worried about getting therapy for PTSD and whatnot. Do you think we're starting to figure out mental health and how we deal with trauma?
How does life affect it? What traumas occur in our lives? And they can sometimes be in the work that we do. I think that was more in terms of my writing. But I think, I don't think that, I want to say that the people who run this country give a damn about the people who work in this country and whether they suffer physically or whether they suffer mentally.
Right.
I very long time ago, before I started writing on a regular basis, I wrote a story. I was working in a factory, and one day, this one man, he just went crazy. He lost it completely.
Yeah.
At that point, I couldn't step in because I was the only woman, and I was already dealing with this woman question, which was, but they'll let the men, deal with it. But it was largely because he was a relatively young guy with a family, with no skills, and he was trying every which way just to make a few bucks, just to keep things together. And just that day, it was just too much, know.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I've never forgotten that.
Do you think we lost compassion in our society?
Maybe some of the leaders have, but I don't think the people have.
No,
I agree.
I think the people are compassionate.
I think the people, yeah.
I think it's the problem right now. You've perfectly articulated it.
Yeah, it's the people running this thing that are not compassionate.
They don't care. The society is built so that you make money.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now we're in a million wars. We're killing people. We're killing a lot of civilians.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even killing soldiers, you got to think about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I raised my son. He was in the military. He went to Iraq. And I can't tell you what that feels like. I mean, I didn't ever feel that way before. I was terrified.
Every
I was
day.
terrified.
Right.
And he flew in, and he was supposed to take the plane to Iraq. He flew into Texas and in San Antonio. And so he spent the evening with me when we were in a restaurant, and everybody knew that these people, all his friends that were going to, including a woman, decided they had no family there, so I was their family, and we all had dinner together. And the whole restaurant was like, like wishing them well and everything, because they knew they were headed for Iraq.
Mm.
So then my son, he went off, and he was supposed to leave, and I go home. He calls me back. I'm not leaving. It's the next day. I have another day delay. So it was like a rerun, like this.
Yeah, it's
I was terrified,
Yeah.
And then actually on the third day, he actually ended up going to Iraq. But I remember just before he was supposed to come home from Iraq, and I had those same feelings again.
Yeah.
The same feelings and terror came back. And I went to a rabbi and I said, I must be nuts. I'm getting crazy again and he's going to be home in a few days. And he said, it's a very normal thing, he said, because his time is almost finished in that dangerous situation. And there's just a little more time, and yet he could still lose his life in that little bit of time.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, I mean, I didn't have it consciously, but subconsciously, I remember going through that.
I remember my mom, she never calls when I'm on tour with my band, but if I'm in LA for 5 days, she's calling me every 20 seconds.
Really?
It's like that it's close.
Yeah.
That it's almost time for you
She's like,
for
we
to
can
see
get
each
lunch.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Well, that's
interesting.
a connection of soul.
Mhm.
It's like
Moms know.
moms know.
How many kids do you have?
I'm sorry?
How many children do you have?
I have 2 sons.
2 sons.
And one just got out of the military.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you have
after
grandchildren?
28 years. I'm going tomorrow to Mississippi. My granddaughter is graduating.
Fun.
And she's going to college. And then my grandson graduated a couple of years ago from
wow.
the same school. And it's believe it or not, it's in Mississippi, completely integrated school. Any kid in Mississippi can go there. Last 2 years of high school, free. And all these kids, black, white, Chinese, incredibly integrated, living in together, studying together,
Amazing.
helping each other because some of them have no families that can help them. They can go home on the weekend, but you can't go home during the week because it's too far, you know. Completely paid for by the state of Mississippi.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, it's like living together. It's just exactly what it should be. You know, in the worst, most racist state in the union.
Yeah.
You know?
Well. Yeah.
Of course, they're trying to get rid of the school, but
Of course. Yeah.
We have one more question. Actually, you've been so wonderful. Thank you so much. We're coming back every month to keep talking to you guys.
Oh my goodness.
I want to know the idea of time and people take advantage of time until it's too late. Do you have any advice for people who aren't following their dreams now and waiting to follow their dreams?
I don't like to give advice, you know.
That's a great
except
answer.
to my children.
Yeah.
Only my children. Other
Yeah.
than that, and I don't give advice. No, but you should try to do what you can. You know, what you see is the most important thing, and it may take a while. You may have to do some other grunt work or whatever jobs. You know, you may want to do something. You know, but work at it. You know, because that's where your heart is. You know?
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're the best.
You guys are great.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
I hear you're musicians.
We're musicians.
What kind of music
I
do you
play in a boogie woogie piano, you know,
like that.
Jerry Lee Lewis
Yeah.
style
like that.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
I'm like a sax player.
Play
Saxophone.
saxophone.
A saxophone.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna play for the house next month when I'm back on tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're going to come here?
Yeah, we're
come
gonna
here
come
and
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
me and Nick. Yeah.
If you'll have us.
If you'll have us, yeah.
I don't run the place.
I don't know. It kind of seems like you do.
But you know what? But you know what?
Andale says she runs the
I
place.
know. Yeah, it's true. Andale did seem like.
You know, but I've been here 12 years.
Oh, really?
So I have a way of influencing people.
You're
And
a-
by
you're
the
a-
way, I don't share my writings except for one person, one
Yeah.
in the administration.
Yeah.
One person here that I share, and a second person just recently, because mostly I share with my friends, you know, and I share when I get something published, which I do. I don't make any money, which I don't need anymore.
yeah.
I've learned so long to live without it. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I had a lot of money.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I can't
Yeah.
wait to talk to you
You're
some more.
incredible.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Michael Rubens.
And how old are you?
I am almost 67 next
Looking
month.
great.
2 weeks. from
Dude.
now.
I'm aging
Better
like
than
a
me.
prune. I'm aging. You're aging fantastic.
Well, thank you.
That's a good topic we could talk about first.
Okay.
You're never too old to learn something.
Right.
And when did you? Is it fear that we are afraid to learn something, or what do you think it is that people are afraid to learn something in their older age?
I think we set our own obstacles that, you know, as far as something technical, my brain just doesn't have the patience.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
That's the hurdle. I just
I'll clap to
don't.
that.
Oh, yeah. I've been there a few times.
That has become my new motto.
Yeah.
That I just don't care. I don't care what people think. I mean, I do care what people think, but I don't see myself through other people's eyes. You know, I think I was raised right, and I have a good sense of morality, and but learning something new at this stage can be really difficult.
Yeah.
Really difficult. In fact, I was fired. I worked in the cannabis industry for many, many years, and I basically I was a baker, a cannabis baker.
Oh.
I won Best Edibles in Denver in 2015.
Yeah.
I wrote a cookbook. And then they closed the kitchen. There were a lot of people like my boss that worked fantastic at growing great pot,
Yeah.
but didn't know shit about business.
Yeah.
And
You
even
still
though
smoke weed?
we're not allowed to here,
Oh, really?
you
really?
almost caught me.
Officially, no.
Officially, no.
No, I actually quit smoking. I never smoked cigarettes, but I haven't smoked weed in almost 10 years. Smoked it
Smoke.
because I had a heart attack.
You eat it?
I do eat it. I was a baker, so.
Cool.
But I bake at my friend's house down in Parker, so I'm not trying to do anything illegal here.
Right.
When did weed get strong? What generation did
Well,
weed
yeah,
get
I
strong?
always
You
hear-
need to buy my cookbook.
We'll put a link.
It's called Baking to Get Baked.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Vancouver, BC.
Oh,
And any port city, there are lots of drugs.
Yeah.
We were getting uber potent weed by the mid 70s.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard the word sensimilla was when I bought some African sensimilla.
Wow.
Got so incredibly high. I mean, we were buying pounds of what we call Mexican commercial. We called it mogi weed.
Yeah.
You know, that lime green brick.
That
But it-
brick, baby.
But it was better than that
Oh yeah.
crap they have now.
It wasn't brown.
No, it was not
No.
brown. It didn't make you cough and give you a headache. It just wasn't that strong.
Oh man.
But then we started getting this stuff from all over the world. And yeah, it was crazy.
But like, do you remember when like?
But every kind of weed now is strong.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, even in the '90s, weed was
More chill.
it was chill. Now I'm having existential crisis
Yeah.
on this fucking stuff.
See, I basically quit. I quit using cannabis
Am I
for
alive?
20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
When I got to college, I'd been such a screw off in high school that I had something to prove to myself, and I knew myself well enough that I knew that being high, I would not do my best in school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the dean's list. I ended up moving to Denver to be in a honors psych program at DU,
Oh, cool.
Wow.
where I wrote a senior thesis as an undergraduate. And and then I got back into, I was a real big athlete when I was in high school.
Oh, really?
Bad student, great athlete.
Mm.
And then I really got into road cycling and skiing once I moved here. And it just didn't click with how I was trying to make my body as strong as I possibly could. It never even occurred to me to find some.
Where did you get your sense of style? Because you might be the best dressed guy
Yeah,
I've seen
God.
in 6 months.
Save some ladies for the rest of us. Jesus, Michael. Jesus.
Well, what's really funny about that is that only recently I've been able to afford to. I knew how to.
Yeah.
And when I worked in an office, I dressed really well. And my mom taught me how to shop really well.
Mhm.
So I waited for these mega sales and would save up my money and spend $2,000 and get a ridiculously huge wardrobe of
Oh.
real quality stuff.
What modern invention do you wish you had as a kid?
What modern invention?
What could you have used back in the day?
This doesn't sound that modern, but the remote. There was no remote.
Well, you know,
when I was
modernity
a
is
kid.
relative.
You had to get up and walk across the room,
Oh, that rules.
adjust
that
the
rules.
rabbit ears.
Yeah. Yes.
What is something that you think people massively underestimate today?
Massively underestimate the power, and this sounds really trite and Pollyannish, but just smiling.
Mm.
That when you smile at someone of any age, you can sense them opening up and relaxing. And it's just this, and it works anywhere in the world.
Right.
Mm.
Like if you're struggling and you're butchering their language, if you smile, it kind of eases everything.
Yeah.
And I've been accused of the beard. I didn't realize this. The beard hides a lot of my emotion.
Yeah.
And I never realized that till fairly recently.
Show them pearly whites, dog. Come on. I see them in
That's-
there.
That is a great
And
beard,
I got
though.
them whitened too.
Yeah. You're
is
you're
one
a
of the
hot
best-
man. That's
Thank
a hot
you.
man.
Good-looking
I'm
guy.
trying.
I'm gonna clap to that. Being hot. I'm trying to be hot. Do you
And
have
hard.
any? Do you have any regrets in life?
Yeah.
What is the one that you think about a lot?
Biggest one is I always knew from a very early age that I would be a great father. And I was married, and I met my future ex-wife when her son was like 3.5 or 4. So I helped raise Noah, but I'm sorry I didn't have my own kids. The other big regret, and I think about this way too much, I was a sprinter and long jumper. I was at a huge international meet in Seattle. And I wish I could go back and move my mark back 4 inches because I fouled a jump that would have sent me to the University of Washington or Oregon, would have been about 24 feet. And also the 100 final, it was an old track with the lines, with the yard lines. And there were 2 groups of adults around the finish line. Well, I blew out of the blocks and stopped running at the 100-yard line, but it was a 100-meter race.
Oh,
I was still going fast enough to come in third.
Damn.
But it would have been my first, by far the best personal best would have been about a 10-7, 100 meters.
Oh, you were like
and I was 15
That's amazing.
at the time.
It's
And
like borderline Olympic.
yeah, I was approached by 2 guys from Feeder High School in Olympia, Washington, that wanted my dad to let me go down there. It was a feeder school for UW.
Right.
What about what would you what
Shit
type of
happens.
advice would you give someone younger wasting time?
And I've wasted a lot of time in my life doing really useless, wasteful things. I would say, I know it seems like you have all the time in the world, but hunker down, have fun, but try to get some focus and get some traction and figure out what it is you do best and how to go about doing it for a living.
Yeah.
I lucked out. I found 3 things that I do extremely well. I write really well. I make incredible sorbet. I was a
It's my guy.
I love sorbet.
I
I gotta
had
come to hang out with you, Michael.
yeah.
Jesus
We've
Christ.
taken to
I had my own sorbet companies over about 20 years. I won Best of Denver for that.
What?
I was in like 7 states and 200 restaurants.
I love a good lemon sorbet.
Hardest flavor to make.
Really?
Hardest flavor
My
to
favorite.
make.
Yeah.
A lot, very high water content.
Oh, okay.
The best things in life take time, so might as well start now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, thanks for being on the show. I really
You
appreciate
betcha.
it, bud. We're gonna
Loved
come
it.
back. Let's go. We're gonna be playing here next month. You should jam with us.
Yeah. Bring the harmonica.
I play piano. He plays sax. Bring the harp. We'll do some.
Can Ray come with his guitar?
Fucking bring it.
Of course.
Tell Ray to come.
Okay, what's the name of your band?
Andy Frasco and the UN.
Andy
Frasco and the UN.
Frasco and the UN.
We're playing Levitt Pavilion in July. I'll give you. I'll
Yeah,
give you
we'll
all
make
the
sure
info.
you get it. Yeah,
Thanks for being on the show, Michael.
You
Appreciate
betcha.
it.
Thank you.
You're the man.